Okay, I'm going to really quickly show how to use some of the sequencing things on the OPXY. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on sound design, but really quickly we have 8 instrument tracks, 1 through 8, and these are just mostly default things that are set up when you start a project. And then we also have 8 auxiliary tracks that'll control things like punch-in effects. It'll control things like the tape looper. And right now, we've got some pretty basic things here that are set up. So let's just go ahead and lay down a really quick drum pattern. Okay, great. I think we can turn off that metronome. So now that we have a basic drum pattern, here's what's cool about the XY. I'm going to really quickly show. So I'm looking right now at patterns. So each track, including the auxiliary tracks, can all be sequenced, and they can all have a bunch of different patterns that are assigned to them. And those patterns can be of different lengths. They could be at different speeds. And right now we have one pattern. And just to kind of make this easy, I'm going to copy this and paste it. So now we have the exact same thing that we already played, but I'm just going to add some hats onto this really quick. So let's go ahead and okay, so like as I'm playing, I could switch back to the previous pattern, and now we don't have the hats. But I could also go over to this second track, which is also drums. And cool, I'm gonna copy this. And I'm just going to make this one a little bit longer. Right now, it's pretty short. And I'm going to copy this. So I'm actually going to copy the one that we have, and I'm just going to make this a little bit longer. Because on the second part here, we're going to add something. Cool. But let's also come up with one that's completely different than this. And we're going to do this. Cool. And we're going to make this much faster. So you see I can switch the time, I can make it slower. But we're going to go back to this. So now we've got a couple different pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and stop really quick, and I'm going to move this back. And you'll notice this number 1. What that's showing us is we're on the first scene, and you can have a bunch of scenes that are laid out in the song. So right now we've got something pretty basic here. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off anything for this second part here, or the second drum track, and let's just go ahead and create a second scene just to start getting this thing going. So now in the second scene, I'm going to add in the second drums, and I'm going to go back to this first one. I'm just going to shift this up. So when we play the song and we go into song mode, which is shift, and what I'm doing here, I can go play scene 1, play scene 2, and so now if I do that, cool. Let's just go ahead and add a scene 3, which we haven't defined yet. So scene 3 is going to be cool. So you see that we're looping through the song now. And let's go to one of the instrument tracks. So we got a little synth here. I'm going to spend a whole lot of time on. Okay, So let's go ahead and we're going to add a synth to this. And we're going to go. Okay, so I totally screwed that up. So I'm just going to undo that. I can fix it, and you can move all these steps around. So actually, let me quickly show that here for a second. So oh, okay, well, I missed the undo anyway. Okay, so this is early, or late. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it right here, and then let's just go to the next one because I'm pretty sure one of these are going to be late too. Okay, so that was a disaster. So right here, we're going to copy this. We're going to paste this here. We're going to copy this, paste this here, and now we should be pretty good. Actually, we're not. Okay, so let's fix this really quick. So take this, copy it. Looks like that's right where it was at the start. Great. And like everything else, I can copy and paste it. I can even swap the instruments out. But first, we're going to do some automations on this. So we're going to take this, we're going to do a filter sweep here. Cool. So now that's automated, but it's on this second pattern. And we can even copy and paste this now. And we can add an arpeggiator. That. Okay, it's not great, but you get the idea. Let's go ahead and we're going to go to channel 4 here. Sounds good, but here's the thing, it's not really long enough. So I'm just going ahead, I'm going to re-record this, but I'm going to do it a little bit longer. And okay. And we can experiment with all different types of stuff. So maybe we like this. But let's say that we just want to try a different instrument altogether here. So let's go back here. And that sounds cool. And you'll notice that it's swapping between the two different play styles here because we now have two of these and we're moving them around based off of the scene that we're in. But I could also lock these in. So I could say, you know what, I really like this new one. I just want to keep these all on here. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I can also copy this to another track if I wanted to do something with it. So I could say, okay, copy, let's go to the next track. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this over here. And maybe I want to transpose this. Let's keep it simple here. And I can also change some of the effects routing here. Add a little bit of delay. Okay, let's actually play our whole song now. Let's also check out these effects, see what we got going on. And you'll notice that we can also automate and sequence effects, but I can also automate things with punch-in effects here. So I could say, and this can also have its own time scale. Or maybe I just want that to be every once in a while. Maybe we'll do that only on one pattern, or one scene. So I'm going to go back to here. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a new one. And I'm going to move these around. There we go. And we've also got things like there's a tape looper that's always running. And you can change the time on it and then mix it in here a little bit. And that, of course, can also be automated. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go over to tape looper and create a new one because I don't want this to be on everything. Okay. Let's go ahead. We're going to do this for the tape looper here. Cool. You've also got this little thing called brain, which allows you to shift things around. So right now we're in C major, but we could be like, okay, and change scales. It's a little bit of a hit and miss. But you can also set exact scales in here and move them around. But again, it's a little hit and miss from my experience. All right. So what's something else we can add here? There we go. I'm actually going to switch the synthesizer type. So to do that, we can go over here and we can actually just browse by the engine. And let's go to the wavetable. Right now it's feeding into the tape looper, and I don't want that to go in there. So I'm going to turn that off right now. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to record that. I'm going to set this to be a little bit longer one, so. And again, we can come in here and we can play with the sound design without. Sounds pretty good. And we can add a variation in here just to switch things up. And notice we're looping through the song right now. So some things have some of these patterns we added with the arpeggiator, some don't have it. So here we are in pattern 1. Let's go to pattern 3 here because I think that that's where we have the arpeggiator on. Yeah. I think that's sufficiently different, but I don't want this on pattern 3. We're actually going to put this into a brand new pattern 4. And this is something that actually drives me nuts, because when you create a new pattern, it automatically basically starts at the bottom of everything. But we're going to go back to pattern 3, and we're going to go to this, and let's go ahead and get these things all set up to how we want them. And do a couple of different variations here. All right, let's see what that sounds like on pattern 4. You can also mute these. You can mute them by doing this, or you can just turn them off here. So let's make sure that this doesn't slide into anything we already have. I'm going to create a really quick little ambient background part here. Cool. So now we go back to our song mode. If we were to go and really quickly do one last little thing here, just create a break. So I'm going to create this new pattern 5, which is being unused right now. But what it's going to do is it's not going to have, we're going to turn off all the drums. Except we're going to go back to this. If you remember, we created that little thing there. So this is going to be like a little break here that we'll do. And then we'll just go back to the main portion that we had. Okay. Sequence too much of the punching effects, so I guess we can use those while we're going here. So we made a little song from scratch. I hope you enjoyed it.